There are a few different ways to display your Google Drive, and this makes a big difference from person to person what their preferences are in terms of what it looks like. To some people, some things feel cluttered, and other people prefer it in a more streamlined way. So I happen to like this view, but I can easily click up here and change it from the list that it's in into a grid view. And then I can see more easily which are the folders that I already have outlined and which are hanging out here loose. And maybe I need to delete or maybe I need to put into a separate folder. So that's one very basic choice that you have. Start with either list or grid. Then, this is the alphabetical one. You can sort it by name, by last modified by me, or last opened by me. I tend to keep mine on last modified, so you can see that changed it, so that I can see who's been working in folders, particularly shared folders. Maybe students are submitting work or colleagues are collaborating. I tend to set it up that way, but sometimes it makes more sense to have it listed alphabetically so that it's easy to scroll down and find what I'm looking for that way. That's a matter of choice. This icon is interesting, the View Details icon. I'm going to select a folder and click on that View Details, and it shows me all of the recent activity that's been happening in that particular folder. So yet another form of organization to see what's been happening, especially if you're looking for a lost document. That's a great way to find it. Close that again. And then we have this gear icon. And if I go to settings, it's showing me some of the other options that I have. I want to make sure you realize that in settings, this box is something you can click to work offline. In the last 2 days, I've had a lot of trouble staying online. And so it's useful to be able to work offline as well when the internet's down. In my case at home, I guess there was a car accident that took out all of our systems. So you never know. Anyway, the other thing I like is this converting anything I upload. It automatically converts to a Google Docs editor format. Some people hate that. They want to be able to keep the formatting the same way it is. So that's a choice you have in your Google Drive settings there. Okay, I'm going to go back to my drive. This is a way of organizing that I never use, but apparently for some people it's important, and that is to do it by file size. So you can see which of your folders are taking up lots and lots of space and which ones are just tiny little things. So if for some reason you're feeling like you need to look for a large document or you feel like you need to close or to create more space, that's how you would do it. You need to actually open the folder to see the details. Come back to my drive. Actually, let's go to a shared with me drive. Planning for TLC. If I go to that file size, it doesn't show up. I thought that was going to be a full one. Anyway, those are all different ways that you can organize your drive. I've mentioned elsewhere about stars, how much I like stars. I can see here that I can sort by stars, and then it only brings those few up that I like. And if I decide that, well, this one isn't a pressing one anymore, I can unstar it, remove star, and then it's gone. So you only want to have a few things starred at a time that are really of high priority. And I went back to my drive to just indicate one more thing here. When I right-click on anything, I have a whole bunch of options that can help organize your life. You've already heard about changing colors. You can do that right by right-clicking on your drive. You can rename things. Sometimes when you see it set up alphabetically, you think that you'd prefer to have it named a different way. That makes more sense. It's easy to do that here. And with Move To, you can move a document to a file that way. So if I come down to those ones at the bottom I remembered were um, just hanging loose and not in a folder, I can come down, I can right click on it, and I can move it into any one of the other folders that I have. So that's an intro to organizing your docs, and hopefully that'll make it seem more manageable.